Hey, what's up everyone, Vortex here and welcome back to Vortex Raid Shadow Legends. So guys, this video it's the first of a series that we're gonna do on this channel here. The series is called probably Where to Use Them. I think that's the name I'm gonna choose for my series. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at every champion. I mean not every champion, but the legendaries from every faction. And we're gonna try to understand based on their kit where we should use them, so what they were designed for, like which area in the game, dungeons, clan boss arena, Hydra, whatever it is. And this way I think it will be very good for me to understand where these champions fit in the game, but it will also be helpful for you guys as well in case you have any of these champions and you want to know where you should use them or where you shouldn't use them, right? We're gonna talk about only the legendaries, but I am going to mention probably some of the other champions like epics or rares or the mythicals. Just give them some mention if any of them are a specific champion for a specific area. Every video will cover one faction, simply because there's a lot of factions in the game and a lot of champions. So if I make a full video about all of them, it will take a couple of hours. I don't want to bother you guys, you know. And so yeah, this first episode will be about the Banner Lords. In the next episode, we're gonna talk about the High Elves and so on and so forth. Let's start with the Banner Lords. Now, it goes without saying, guys, that every champion, regardless of the area that they are designed to be used, you can still use them in other areas as well, okay? Especially if you're a new player in the beginning and you might have some of these champions and you want to use them in other areas, you can definitely do it, so don't worry about that. But again, we are trying to understand exactly where we should use them and how we should use them, okay? So let's start with the Banner Lords in the first episode. First of all, Androck, his main form, it doesn't really scream to me like anything in particular. Probably he's useful in some areas, you know, with buffs and stuff like that. However, his alternate form, it seems like it's made for Hydra, with weaken and block buffs, and then he has some decreased defense. So I think his alternate form was designed for Hydra. His main form probably as well, but yeah, because he has some strengthen, increased defense. I mean, it's not bad, but that's what I think it should be used. Obviously, guys, let me know if you know better than me, because as you can see, I don't have most of these champions, so I'm gonna base my my idea on what their kit says to me, you know. But if you know other areas where you should use them, let me know in the comment section, obviously. So let's start with Lord Chamfort. I actually have this guy. I don't know exactly where he should be used. The only thing that comes to mind is when I look at his passive, where he's placing a shield, it makes me think about Scarab King. I never used him in Scarab King. I think mine is at level 50, but I think that's where he could shine. Other than that, I don't really think he can be used in many places, to be honest. Now, let's go to Setalia. Setalia, she has an HP burn on her A1. She is removing the debuffs from a target ally, a block debuff on that ally, a heal, and then she has another removing buffs from all enemies. She's decreasing the turn meters of the enemies and filling the turn meter. So it sounds like an arena type of kit, but I'm not really sure. I think that's, I haven't seen her in many areas, to be honest, from other content creators or even players out there. So I think that's where she actually shines. Probably arena, but that's pretty much it. Let's go to Cillian the Lucky. Now Cillian the Lucky has a decreased speed on his A1, block active skills, a stun, but it's only on one enemy, with some turn meter manipulation, and then a lot of buffs that he's placing randomly, which I don't like, to be honest. I don't like the fact that everything is random, you know. I would prefer to have something specific. If I want block damage and strengthen, I want to have those, you know. I don't want him to place buffs that I might not need in that moment, right? But again, this guy seems like an arena type of guy for me. Maybe you can still use him in some other content, but I really don't think so. This is not a rating of the champions, so we're not looking at how strong they are or how weak they are. We're just looking at where we should use them. Yeah, so don't get confused about this. Sigmund the High Shield. High Shield? Yeah. Attacks one enemy, removes the shield, a better chance when attacking bosses, a provoke with decreased attack, an AoE actually, attack, what else? Shield strengthen on all allies, and a passive that decreases the duration of all buffs. So he seems more like a boss type of champion, you know. Probably even Hydra with provokes and decreased attack, shield strengthen. He's removing shields. So yeah, I think this is it's like a boss type of champion, probably for Hydra as well. That's what I'm thinking at the moment. Ronda. I don't have Ronda. We know her, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows she's really great in arena. Other than that, I think you can still use her in some waves and stuff like that, maybe some bosses, but mostly arena for her. Let's go to Black Knight. To me, it sounds more like an arena type of champion, but I might be wrong. I haven't seen him in other content in the game from other content creators. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. Stalkus Dragonbane. Now, we all know this guy. He is amazing for Dragon, okay? Because he is reflecting back the poisons that he receives from the dragon. He can be good in waves, I think, as well, because he has like a double AoE attack with a chance to place the stun. So he's great for waves. But again, I think he is mostly for a dragon specific type of champion, right? Other than that, I've seen some of them in arena. And he actually does quite a lot of damage, to be honest. So, I mean, yeah, you can use him in arena as well if you want. But again, I think his design was for mostly for dragon. Let's go to Minaya. Now, Minaya, she has like a continuous heal on her A1. Heal reduction, leech, that cannot be resisted if Coronar is in the team. A shield, a block debuffs, and a passive with some turn meter manipulation, and she will revive herself if Coronar is in the same team. Now again, I think I've seen her in some tag team arenas. However, she doesn't really seem like she's useful anywhere else, or at least in my opinion. But yeah, I don't really think she can be used like in many places. Maybe, like I said, maybe arena, but only if you have Coronar. On her own, I don't think she can do much for you. So yeah, let's say arena for Minaya. All right, let's go to Helior. Attacks one enemy, an AoE with a shield on everyone. He's transferring debuffs from all allies to a target enemy. He has a cool passive that he absorbs some of the damage if an ally gets 2 or more debuffs. Yeah, I think he can be another arena type of champion. I don't really see him in other content, so we're gonna go for arena. Again, I'm gonna repeat again myself. I think a lot of these champions can be used in other places, guys, okay? But we're just trying to understand, based on their kit, what they were designed for, right? So that's what we're looking here. Let's go to Timid. I know Timid. I don't have him, but I've seen him. Mostly arena. I think this guy is an arena type of champion. Other than that, I haven't seen him being used in any other content in the game. True Fear, yeah, I think it's an arena type of champion. Let's go for Rathalos Blade Master. Yeah, Rathalos, it's an amazing champion. He is the boss killer, okay? I actually made a video about him. He is designed to destroy bosses, okay? He doesn't have an enemy max HP, so he's no Gnut or Acrisia. However, he can pack a punch. Like, this guy can actually do a ton of damage, especially if you pair him with a HP burner. With his passive, every 5th skill he's gonna do 200% more damage, and if the enemy is under HP burn, he's gonna do another 50% extra damage. So altogether it's a 250% extra damage on one hit. My Rathalos in Hydra with this hit can do even like 4 million damage, you know, per head. So he's a boss killer for sure. Again, I see him in arena as well. You can actually use him in arena. Pair him with an HP burner. He's amazing. Amazing champion. I really love him. Adeline. Now this one, it's another freebie that we got. I haven't found a purpose for this lady, to be honest, on my own. And I don't really know where you should use her. Maybe Sand Devil with the sleep, you know, decrease attack, decrease speed. Other than that, I don't really know. If you guys know exactly where you should use her, let me know. Maybe arena. That's all I can think about. You know, some arena or maybe some Sand Devil. That's it. Other than that, to me, I don't see a purpose for this champion. Okay, let's go for Lugan the Steadfast. I don't have him. Attack one enemy with a heal, a shield, increase defense, ally protection, a block active skill. So it sounds like another arena champion, you know. Other than that, I really don't think he can fit in other content in the game. Septimus. Now, Septimus, I have him. And I think he was one of the first champions who had enemy max HP. This guy can actually do a good amount of damage. He's not a nuker like other champions. However, even though his kit screams like, you know, boss killer with enemy max HP, he can actually do a ton of damage in waves as well. If he kills one enemy on with his A1, he grants an extra turn. So you basically, if you build him properly with a ton of damage, you can kill every wave. He's not fast. He's gonna attack each enemy at a time, one enemy at a time. But he can actually, I used to use him a lot. Now I don't use him that much anymore. But he can be good in waves and boss killer, you know, like, that's pretty much it. Maybe arena as well, you can use him, but in arena he doesn't really shine. I try to use him in arena, he's not that great. So I think, again, waves and boss killer as well. Let's go for Richthof. This guy, I actually pulled him recently. I haven't played with him yet. I know he's all about poisons. He's placing poisons. He's doing more damage based on the amount of poisons on the target. I think I want to try him in clan boss instead of who do I use now? I think I'm using what's his name? Dracomorph. But I might change him. I'm not sure. Simply because I want to see how much damage he can do. But again, I'm waiting for, because we have the fusion at the moment, so I'm waiting for the champion training event so I can start leveling up this guy. I don't have the books for him, but anyway, that's not a problem. He has an AoE, and again, obviously he can be used in Dragon as well with all the poison and stuff like that. So I think he's mostly a wave boss kind of champion, maybe clan boss, probably arena as well, enemy max HP, maybe even for like Scarab King he can be good. Yeah, I think he has a great potential for my account. I'll have to think about this guy, but again, for me it sounds like a type of wave boss killer, clan boss, dragon. These are the places where you can use him. Now Kaja the Rai, again, she is the partner of Timid the Fool. Again, I think she's good for arena. Other than that, I don't really haven't seen her being used anywhere else, just arena. So, but I might be wrong about her. Let's see who else. Aislinn. Now this guy, he is one of the what is called the leaders or something like that, you know, for this faction. And usually for these guys, for this type of leaders, I think their purpose is to be good pretty much everywhere, you know, to buff your champions and stuff like that. So I think that's what he does. He is mainly one of those champions that you should use him together with your team you have from the Bannerlords. So I think he's good pretty much everywhere in the game, you know. pair together with some of your other champions from the same faction. And I think this is the case for most of these type of leaders champions, right? So let's move to Raglan. I know Raglan, I don't have her, but I know her. I only saw her in Arena. I haven't seen her doing much in other content in the game. Yeah, I think that will be everything, like just an Arena type of champion. That's pretty much it. Now Baron, he is amazing champion. He does a ton of damage. Good for Arena for sure, but also in waves. I know he can do a ton of damage in waves as well. Maybe even for like Hydra you can use him. Even though his kit doesn't scream like Hydra type of kit, you know. But because of the damage that he does, I think he can be good in even for bosses and Hydra as well. Taras. Now Taras, I mean, we all know Taras is an Arena champion for sure. But also Taras can be great pretty much everywhere, right? Wherever you need to destroy bosses, he's gonna be great. In Hydra, he can do a ton of damage in Hydra. Waves, bosses in general. So he's pretty much great everywhere. I think even Clan Boss, if you have him, you can use him in Clan Boss to do a ton of damage as well. Let's move on to Marichka. She is the partner of Taras. Again, mostly Arena type of champion. I'm not sure about other areas in the game where you could use her. On her own, I don't think she can do that much. I mean, yeah, she has some potential like shield and strength and stuff like that. So you might be able to use her in Hydra, but other than that, I don't think she screams other areas for me. Just Arena type of champion, especially paired with Taras, right? And the last one is Quintus. Again, another Arena type of champion. We get him from Live Arena. You collect the fragments. However, I've seen, I think Nabraids, he made a video about him, or someone else, I can't remember which one. And they used him in Hydra. And he can actually pack a punch in Hydra as well, because he's doing pure damage. But I might be wrong, I don't know, I don't have him yet. I think I'm close to, I mean, I'm not close, but I'm almost there. Let me see, where is my Quintus? I have 60 fragments, I'm missing 40 of them to get this dude, but yeah. Okay, so we are done with the legendaries. Now, when it comes to epics, we're gonna just, I'm gonna try to mention some of these epics if they're actually good in other areas, if they have some specific. Obviously, this faction has a lot of good, great champion like Archmage, Stag Knight, Ursula, Warcaster, amazing champions, but they are like mostly champions that you can use anywhere. However, we're gonna mention Lady Annabelle. She can solo Bormal on her own. It will take a while. Other than that, I don't think you can use her anywhere else. I haven't seen her being used in other places. But yeah, it's worth mentioning her because she's something special. Again, there's a lot of other champions in this faction that can be amazing in many places, but they're nothing special, right? When it comes to rares, none of them are particularly interesting. Maybe Valerie, if anything, you can use her, maybe some in Clan Boss, because she's extending some buffs on your champions, but other than that, I don't think any of the other champions is worth mentioning. And uncommon and commons, there's nothing special about this faction either. Alright, so this was the first faction, guys, the Bannerlords. Again, this is the first episode, we're gonna cover just the Bannerlords. In the next one, we're gonna talk about the High Elves. We're gonna try to find out where we should use them and what places they are designed for. But for now, we are done with this episode here. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.